Hello and welcome to Little Workroom Crafts. My name is Davina and I live on the southeast coast of the UK. Today is Monday the 24th of August 2020 and this is episode number 28. What has happening this week? Well, obviously there's been a lot of crafting, so got quite a bit to show you again today, and not a lot really. The weather has cooled down nicely, which is really nice. We've had a couple of wind storms and we've got another one due tomorrow, I think it is. So that's about it really. There's not a lot really been going on. As you can hear, I've got over my cold. Thank goodness. So I think what we'll do is we'll hop right in, I think. Okay, so today we have got cross stitch and I have got some finishes and also some whips to show you. Crochet, which is the same, some finishes and some whips, a bit of sewing. I've made myself a couple of project bags. There is some Naughties. What can I say? Why not? Anyway, so there is, and that'll be at the end. Okay then, right then, let's go into the cross stitch first. As I said last week that I was cross stitching, I'd finished off my little cross stitch and I was making them into little cushions to make a little display on my table for autumn. Well, the original bowl I was going to use was too colourful and I didn't go with them, but I did get the cushions finished. So this one here is all done. And what I do is I do the method like Kathy from Hands On Designs, where I put the fabric face right sides together, sew all the way around, and then you put a little slit at the back, pull it through, stuff it, then sew it up, and then just use Bonder Web. And I've just used a piece of wool felt on the back. But what I've done for the inside, because you can hear, I've actually used the toy stuffing for the corners, and I've put rice on the inside, because trying to get crushed walnuts, I just can't seem to find them over here. So I'll keep hunting though, but rice will do the job. But I'm really pleased with the way this chicken has turned out. On the actual original, which I'll show in a moment, he has actually got a witch's hat on. So I didn't want that. I wanted it more for autumn, not for Halloween. So I actually just guessed really and put more stitches at the top and shaped his head, because his head landed like flat for the hat to go on it. But no, I'm really pleased. And that's a little piece of the this is Lewis and Irene fabric that I had left over from my celebrations that I did, and I got this one out of last year's Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine. And there he is, and if you see, look, he has got his hat on there, where on mine I didn't want him to have his hat on. I left him as is. So the next one I got done is the Boo. Now this is actually a free pattern, which is on the Be Well and Stitch hashtag on Instagram, and it's from the That's So Kelly company, and that it actually should be a bookmark. But what I did is I've obviously made it into a little cushion, and what they did on theirs is they put white in the letters, where I left it as the colour of the fabric, because both of these are fabrics that I have dyed myself, Ada's that I've dyed myself. So I was well chuffed with the way they've turned out. And on the back, yet again, I've done it the same way, just done a little slit and sewed it up. And this is yet again fabric that I had left over from my year of celebrations. But I am so pleased, and I put the rice in and the polyfill at the corners, and they actually, it does make a difference with the way they sit up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop in a photograph of what they look like in the little bowl that I've got in on my table. Right, I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. The little crochet bits and the bowl itself I'll show in a minute when I get to the crochet section, but I'll carry on now with the cross stitch. And I decided that I was now going to go and make a couple of little Christmas cushions, so then when the autumn ones are finished, I can put the Christmas ones in. And so I got some of my cremator that I've got, and I coffee and tea dyed it, which I'm so pleased with the way it has actually turned out. And the patterns for this, yet again, oh, didn't I bring that up? Oh no, it's on me WhatsApp. It's on me stand. Is another freebie. What I'll do is I'll put the name of the designer down the bottom. This yet again is off of the Be Well and Stitched hashtag, and it is definitely the primitive look. So I've got the little crow and the house, and then there's going to be a little, on one of these sides, a little sheep and trees and that there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in a photograph of actually, I've managed to screenshot a photograph of it actually done, because actually on the piece that you photocopy off, it's all in black and white, so I could get some idea, because I didn't have all of the threads that was needed, so I've just matched the best I can with what I've got out of stash, and I like doing that because then it makes it more personal to you as well. So what I'll do then is I'm going to pop that photograph in here. And also what I've done is I've popped in a photograph of another one that I'm going to do after this one, and this is by Tina Herman, another freebie, and this has got a little snowman with a sheep and a little house. So I have already got me coffee and tea dyed piece of Ada, and I've just got to sort out my threads, because as I say, all you get is the black and white printed bit when it's free like that. So I have actually put photographs of both of them in colour so you can see what they are, because I say that the cross stitch designers have been so generous with this that's all been going on this year. Just hop over to hashtag Be Well and Stitch, and there is loads, absolutely loads. And I do love the primitive looking ones. This one here on the bottom as well has also got some beads, so I'm using these little red ones because there's holly. There's going to be a bead in that little bit of holly there, and there's a little row of hollies here with the beads on, so I'm really looking forward to getting to that part. So yeah, that is my cross stitch, that's my whips, they're my finishes, and yeah, I think that's it on that on the cross stitch. So now we'll go into the sewing. Now I thought, well, being it's autumn, well, I think it's autumn, I know it ain't till next week, but I still think it's autumn because the weather's got cooler and it's nice at the moment. I thought, well, I haven't actually got any autumnal project bag, even though it's really weird because I'd finished off my autumn cross stitch and decided to go on to the primitive Christmas ones, and what have I gone and done? Made an autumn project bag. So I made this up yet again. This is the last of the little bit of fabric that I had, and I've got, this is like it's a cotton, but it's like it's not a brush cotton, it's really hard to explain. It's what a lot of people use for the raggy quilts, but not the, so it's not brush cotton, it's just the ones that you get from quilt shops. And yeah, so I did that with the little window, and I also made a little project bag which I can fit a whole ball of yarn in for me socks for me handbag, because you can't go anywhere without a pair of socks on the needles, really, can you? That's what I say. So I made those. Yet again, as I say, this fabric, I know it's Lewis and Irene because I bought it from work, but I think it was last year's. It definitely isn't this year's. It was either last year's or the year before. But I love Lewis and Irene fabrics. Their prints are so nice. Okay, right, so now we're going to go into the crochet. So this is my, as I've said, my little bowl. This bowl is what Glenn made years ago. He used to have a lathe and turn wood. So I thought that'd look really nice. I've just got to get some little stalks to go on the top of these. Now these little pumpkins, I'm so pleased with. This one I did a DK yarn. It actually is the Stylecraft special in spice, or was it tomato? One of those colours. And it's with a 4mm hook. This one I got 2 strands of a sock yarn, which has got a little bit of alpaca in it that was left over from a pair of socks I knitted for my Rebecca a couple of years ago now. And I held it double with a 5mm, I think it was 5 or a 5.5mm hook. And as you can see, it just comes up just that little bit bigger, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be a little bit different. So this is what sits on my table. As I say, I've just got to get the stalks. Now, the pumpkin pattern, I did do a Google search and it came up with Lucy from Attic 24. Now, it ain't actually her pattern, but as we all know with Lucy, she changes things and she makes hers look absolutely beautiful, because she's actually done them with them 2 colours. So it's got it's brilliant, because it is actually done in a flat in rows, and then you like slip stitch them together down the side, gather stuff, gather, done. So it is literally, you know, it is easy to do. There is some different stitches in there, and the pattern is in US terms, not in UK terms. So if you actually Google or go over to Lucy on Attic 24 and put in her pumpkins, and then she actually, because she doesn't, obviously Lucy, you know, she's as honest as the next person, don't claim it's her pattern, and she does actually put you over to where she got the pattern from. So well worth having a look, and they are good. And I think, you know, obviously if you did like a chunky, that'd come up really nice size. So, but I like those 2, and I'll have to think of something to make in the front of my 2 Christmas ones when they go in there. Right then, now let's get to this, shall we? Oh. Now, as I said last week, I spoke about the new Stylecraft yarn, and I have actually called this the Highland Heathers, my Highland Heathers blanket. I am so pleased with the way this is turning out. I can't put it down. And I've even got the yarns ready for the next one. Now, I'm going to show you what I've got done so far. Okay. So as you can see, actually this is what I showed you last week, is I've done a plain, a little 4 patch, a plain, a little 4 patch, and so on. And then on this row, I've done 1 big one, and then I'm going to do 1 big one at the bottom, if I can get my yarn, you know, all okay. Because I've got to, that actually does take up quite a lot, obviously the big ones, because that's 16 rounds. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go and put 1 at the bottom. Now here, because I'm making this up as I go along, I am going to do another 4 patch here with these 2 colours, and then I've been working out in my head, this one I'm going to do a rectangle granny down the sides. And then I thought to myself, well, you know, this is going to be ideal blanket for beginners, really, because it can teach you all the different size squares, and how, because I'm joining as I go, how to join them as together as you go along. And obviously I've got my you know, the beigey colour for the big border, because it's going to have a big border around the outside. So yeah, I am thinking I might, and I'm only going to say I might, when this is finished, I might write this up and you know, put it out there as a pattern for, you know, someone that's just started, you know, your stitches, and it's going to show you all the different things that you can do with the granny square. Basically, I love granny squares. That was the first thing I was taught. I think that's the first thing I remember being taught many years ago. Me and my nan always did granny squares, but I just love this, the colours of this. I just absolutely love them. As I say, it's the Highland Heathers, and I'm actually calling it my Highland Heathers blanket. And I think that big blue one there really gives an impact. I really like that. As I say, I'm going to put the little one down here this afternoon, then I'm going to work out a rectangle, and then on the other corner there's going to be another big one, but I don't know what colour yet. All depends on me, as I say, my yarn management. But my plan is I'm going to try and use up all the yarn I've got. So after I've finished the big you know, creamier colour like I showed you last week, border around the outside, I'm thinking of doing, I don't know, like a row of double crochets, single crochets in America around the outside, and using up all the teeny weeny little bits to do like a scrappy edge round the outside. And I think that will look nice, because my plan is not to have any yarn left. I don't know how that's going to work, because obviously I've got 12 balls. Well, I've got 11 balls for the inner, so that's you know, 1100 grams of yarn, so I should get a fair size. And so I'm going to keep on going at it until I run out. And I'm really hoping that I can put this scrappy round the outside of the creamy colour border. I think that's going to look really nice. But yeah, leave it with me. I'm still thinking, but I might actually see if I can. Well, I know I can write it up, and then I'll do tutorials on how to do a granny square. And then once you've got the beginning part of how to cast it on and how I do it, as I say, is how I was taught. And then yeah, and I'll put the pattern out there, I think. And then I think, you know, as I say, you know, for an achievement for a beginner to do something like that is, I think, is going to be really good. So I just got to work out that rectangle. I know how to do rectangles. I love rectangles. It's just getting the, because I need 16 there, 8 there. So I've worked out the maths, and hopefully I'll have a play with that this afternoon. Okay then, so that's my crochet, and as I say, hopefully it's going to be nearly double that size next week, because I'm really enjoying doing that. Okay then, right then, so we've got all that out the way. So now it comes to the naughties, and we'll stick with the crochet for the moment. And my beautiful hook, my second one from Pedro's, Plaques and Pretty Things, arrived, was it the day after? I think it was last Tuesday, I think it was. So there's their card. I have mentioned them before, and look at this hook. It's got little bees. There's the other little bee. The colour flowers are absolutely gorgeous. This is the 3mm, because she always puts the what it is on the end, because obviously you all saw my other one. This is my 4mm. But they're just beautiful hooks. They really are. And I definitely am going to be getting some more. And I have been in contact with her, because on her previous posts, she did last year do some pumpkin ones, and I'm pumpkin crazy. I love pumpkins. And so as soon as that update go up, I'm getting one of them. I just can't decide whether to go with the 4, because that's my most popular hook, or not. I don't know, but I just, yeah, and I'll probably get the needle minder and everything that goes with it as well. But wow, look at the work that goes into that hook. That is just amazing. She is such a clever lady, and I would definitely recommend Pedro's if you want anything, because she does needle minders, stitch markers. I have seen on some of her previous posts that she has done scissor keepers, but she hasn't uploaded any of those recently, because I would like one of those. So yeah, I say, it's, as soon as she does an upload, it was last week, she did an upload, and they were beautiful, all hand painted sweet peas all over the actual handle. And sweet peas are my favourite flowers. By the time I'd got over to her shop on Etsy, they'd all gone. So, you know, they just like that. But I can understand why. I really can. And the amount of people that do actually collect them. So now I've got 2. And trust me, I won't be staying at 2. Because I just love them. Absolutely love them. Okay then, right. Also, talk about shock. I couldn't believe this. At first I thought it was a gimmick, but I thought I'll give it a go. On the on Facebook or Instagram, one of them, an advert popped up, but I did follow them anyway, and that's the Knitting Network. And they said they had, was it Kingcole zigzag sock yarn down to £2.40 a ball. You know, they're normally over £7 a ball. I couldn't believe it. So I got a couple, and I got this beautiful autumnal colours. These definitely going to be a pair of socks for me. I absolutely love these. And I got this one, which I thought Glenn would like. So that will be his Christmas socks this year, I'm reckoning. I don't think these have actually... Oh, Lime. That one's called Lime. And this one's called Frappu... Whatever that says. Anyway, so I thought, well, £2.40, absolutely brilliant. Cannot complain at that at all. So then all of a sudden, so I put that order in, and then I was looking, and at the bottom something else popped up, and I just couldn't believe it, from the same place. You had a choice then, but as I say, at the moment I don't think there's any, because I know a friend of mine, Emma. Hi Emma, hope you're okay. She tried to get some, and there was only a couple of colours left, I think she said. But there was the Allstars head over heels, 3 balls for £5. You know, you can't go wrong. You literally cannot go wrong. So I got this one. I think this is beautiful. I do like this one. I don't know, because the Allstars is, I don't know if they actually put the names of the All-Star on them. No, they haven't. But this one, absolutely gorgeous. And then I thought, well, I've got to find 3. So I put 3, and I managed to get all 3 that I actually wanted. And these are the self-striping. They've just got Blog Star. They haven't got which blogger it is, I don't think. Oh, the colour has been designed for us. Oh yeah, Julia Marsh from Hand Knitted Things, this one. So this one is Phil Saul from the Twisted Yarn. That's pretty. And this one, yeah, I can see it. I can see why it is this one. From Sandra Paul from Cherry Heart, which we all know. So, yep, that's her colours, definitely. So, yeah, I've just noticed, though, so that actually is going to mess up the stripe in the self-striping. So I'll have to do a little bit of play with that one. But as I say, you can't complain. 3 for a £5. So where they should be over £7 a ball. But as I say, I'm assuming that everything went quick. I don't know what is left, if there is anything left. But why I've mentioned it is follow them, because when you follow them, the Knitting Network, you obviously get you know, updates on and things on what they're doing. And luckily that popped up on my feed, and I hopped right over and got them. You know, you think there's 5 balls of sock yarn there, so that's a £5, 7, 9, yeah, it was just over a tenner, I think it was, with postage, and they only took a couple of days. So I'm really pleased, and I'm glad I did it, because, you know, I like to shop. I do like the hand-dyed yarn. Yeah, they are beautiful yarns, but, you know, sometimes when they're that price, we go for the ones from the shops, don't we? So, yeah, definitely have, I would definitely follow the Knitting Network, so you can actually get on your feeds what they're doing and so on. Okay. Right, one more thing to show you that I've got, which I did speak about last week, which did arrive. Yet again, it was the day after last week's episode. And that is the punch needle and primitive stitcher that I'd ordered from the Patchwork Rabbit. Now, as I said, and you've seen here, I got the Halloween cross stitch, just cross stitch, and the Christmas one last year, and I don't know, it was all right, but I weren't actually as happy as I thought I was going to be. But with this, oh my word, I know I don't do punch needle, but the cross stitches in this magazine are absolutely beautiful, and they're real. It's a nice thick page. I love this one. This is done by, it's called The Summer House by Lucy Beam. And I can't show you, oh no, it's just right, we've got the chart there. I love this house, and I love the way this is done here at the bottom with that. Obviously I'd have to think of something else to put there, but I just love the way that is. This one here, oh yeah, this is a oh, what's her name, Lindy Stitches. Now I do follow her on FlossTube, and I do like her designs. I do. I think that's really, really, and there she is. They're simple but fun, really good fun. This is stitching with the housewives, which yet again is another FlossTube I follow. And you've got your barn, your cow, your chickens, and I think that is brilliant. Now, as you know, I'm doing my big piece, my other hands-on designs. Now, what it was is these two, which is mother and daughter. She drew the actual chalkboard pictures, and Kathy put them into cross stitch for them, and that's when they did the collection, you see. And I just, obviously I've got to do that because it's got a barn in it. I love barns and houses. This here is really good. This is the Twisted Stitcher Varna. She actually is another one I follow on YouTube. She does the most brilliant tutorials on finishing your bits. You know, you just get inspiration from her, and I love this. She's actually designed and made, this is a roll, so you lay this on your table, and then here is where you put all your threads and everything, and your scissors, and here is filled, they've done it with walnut shells, but I could do it with rice again, where you put your needles and your pins, and there's all the instructions on how to make it. It's called the Stitcher's Mat, and I'm tempted. I can't really give to, there's pages, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, full pages of all colour, see, all colour, on how to cut your strips and everything. She is so good. And then there is another patriotic one. This is the Patriotic ABC. Oh, this is the Barbara Ann Designs. But there is also, and I think this one coming up, oh, I've got to do this. That actually is a little needle case. I think that is beautiful. I definitely want to make that one. And this one, Kindness Matters, and this is done by, oh, of course, Primitive Treasures. Look at that. I just think that's lovely. And this one, which is the last one, is done by Heart and Hand, which I do like them as well. I think that is so nice, and I have actually got some threads out. There was 2 I had and 1 I didn't, so I've matched it up as best I can. And after I've done my Christmas ones, I'll probably do that one, but I can't decide whether to do that one or do the little needle case. I can't decide, but I'm definitely gonna, every time that one of these come out, I'm definitely gonna get one, because this is the summer, and I just thought it was a bit. And it has just come out over in the UK as well, because I found out about it through the other FlossTubers. But I don't know how it comes out, if it comes out summer, autumn, winter, spring, or what, I don't know. So I reckon if there is an autumn one, it's going to be gorgeous. But every other, I'll quickly show you, every other, so you've got a cross stitch, needle punch, cross stitch, needle punch. So there's the hummingbird needle punch. So anybody that does needle punch out there, it's still well worth getting. So there actually is 17, yeah, because you've got 17 projects all together, and then you've got the Vonna from the Twisted Stitcher. Hers is the 18th, which is sewing, and then there is a bonus section of the StitchCon experience from last year. That's all what they got up to and all the different designers and so on. But I love it. I just, you know, it's one of them you have by your chair basically, and you pick up all the time. So yes, I can't wait for the next one to come out. So I got mine from the Patchwork Rabbit. It came, I ordered it in the morning on Monday before I did my last episode, and it came on the Tuesday morning. That's how quick it came. So, and also as well with them, you build up loyalty points with your orders, and I took off what I had as well, which basically nearly covered the postage. So it was a win-win. I was really pleased with that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting that magazine. Okay then, so I think that's everything today. So yeah, it is. Okay, so I will say my farewells, and I will see you on Monday next week. And so happy crafting, take care and stay safe. Bye.